And we are live. Oh, Bobby's shaking.
Welcome to the It's Always Saturday podcast, because when you're with the boys, it's always Saturday.
Always Saturday. Today is just the classic trio. Got myself, Spencer. Ian just did the intro, and Bobby shaking in the top right for the video. How's it going, Bobby?
Not too bad. I think that's gonna be my thing. When you say we're live, I'll just start shaking until you introduce me. That's gonna be
Nice.
my thing.
Is okay. I'll be sure to introduce you last from now on, so that way you can fucking concuss yourself.
Just make myself dizzy.
That's.
Just die.
I mean, like basically 3 White Claws in. Same difference.
Hey.
We want White Claw Bobby back.
White Claw Bobby. Can that be
Well-
a character?
well, for the stream, like me and my mom just got back from the grocery store. That's why I didn't join until like a bit later. And like we are loading groceries away, and just for a test, I was like, "Yo, mom, pass me a beer. I just want to have a beer." And she was like, "A beer? It's Wednesday." And I'm like, "I'm just joking. I want a Gatorade." And but if she said like,
What do you mean
but-
testing? Do your parents not know you've drank?
well, no, they do. But the thing is, like, they think it, like if I just wanted to sit here and sip a beer, like for no reason, they think it's kind of weird. I don't know why. Like I said, what's the difference between like if I did want a beer? Like I was just being hypothetical. I was like, if I did want one, what would be so bad about it? She's like, because that's alcohol. And I'm like, you don't get drunk off one beer. And she's like, but alcohol. And it's like, okay, mom. Okay. I guess it's not like I can't. It's not like I can't legally drink it. But okay.
Yeah. Oh.
God, I want to be an alcoholic so bad.
Oh, Millie Cruz has been here before. Hello, Millie Cruz.
What's good?
Hello. Millie Cruz, do you know Meek Mill? Like personally?
Isn't he dead?
Dog.
No.
No.
What am I thinking
No.
of? Who am I thinking of?
Juice
I don't know who
WRLD
you're
and
thinking
X
of.
are dead. And Pop Smoke.
Who's the white
Are you
guy?
thinking of like
Lil Peep.
What? I thought he had
Lil
an M
Peep is
name.
dead. What?
Mac Miller? Is who you're
That's the
thinking of.
one.
Oh, okay.
What did you say?
I said
Meek Mill is what he said.
Oh, in my brain, it was just fully Mac Miller. I don't know why. I was like, just too many M's. There's some consonants. The response was no, but I'm Milky Cruz, and that's all we got. Oh no, Cruz.
Nice.
Milky
Let's go.
Cruz.
that's how it's got to be. So I have a
I
question.
think it's Cruz.
How's it spelled?
Cruz.
That's Cruz. That is Cruz.
Ernesto de la Cruz, like that guy from Coco. Do you know him? Is he your dad?
Is that?
Bro, if he's your dad, you got to get out of there, bro. He's going to double cross your ass. Like, real
Oh,
hard.
I forgot. Yeah, because I kept. Okay, I remember this person. They were in a stream, like when I was. I think we were doing GTA streaming. So for anybody at home that hasn't seen it, we do gameplay streams. And their actual username is Millie Cruz, but I kept saying Milky for no reason. So now they are Milky Cruz.
Nice.
That's kind of
Actually,
hype.
y'all chat amongst yourselves. I think.
Bobby,
Oh, I've clicked the wrong thing. Never mind. Y'all keep going.
Bobby, what are your thoughts on? Oh, I'm getting a phone call. from
Answer
my
on stream.
dad.
Answer on stream, coward.
Speakerphone, too.
What's up?
Speaker, come on.
Yes.
He's not even going speaker. Okay, you have to fill in the gaps.
What a bitch.
That's what his dad said.
Yes.
Ian,
Yes, I
you're
want
really
to suck
smelly.
some dick.
If you guys want to wait till we're done, I'll come play. We should only be not more than an hour.
An hour?
Bro,
But
he's making
Ian, you're
plans
not.
to.
Okay.
You're too short.
Bro, he's making plans to flake on us
Sorry.
literally during the podcast. How?
It's ridiculous. This is
Hey.
ridiculous.
Hey,
How
don't hate the
crazy
dudes, hate the
is
nuts.
Bro, I know Bobby hates that phrase. I love it so much. Don't
I
hate
know,
the
it's
D's,
so
hate
good.
the
Bobby,
nuts.
why do you hate
That's
it?
so funny.
I don't actually hate it. I just heard you say it, and for some reason it just threw me off, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Stop.
I forget.
Don't actually. I don't actually hate it. It just kind of like it threw me for a second, and so now I just turned it into a thing where I just get really mad when you say it. But what were you gonna say to me before the phone call?
I'm good. I'm good, Fez. How are you? Fez just said, "Ask me how I am."
And he
Bobby,
says
I
that
was
he
gonna
loves
ask, what are
Bobby.
your thoughts? Yeah, oh yeah, that too. No surprise there. I was just wondering what are your thoughts on rappers like Logic and Mac Miller?
Logic, he's okay. I mean, I listened to a couple of his songs, but Mac Miller, I have no clue. I've never listened to any of his
So
music.
he's the dead one.
Yes, Mac
Okay.
Miller is Mac Miller is very much dead.
Yes.
But
Okay.
yeah,
I'm keeping
I
up. I'm so in touch with the kids.
I don't really have thoughts. They're not really two of my favorite rappers or anything. They're just kind of there.
Bobby, who are your favorite rappers?
Uh, it's gonna be like some wild contrast. So I'm gonna say Post Malone,
Okay.
and you're gonna be like, oh, mumble rap, okay, like a modern style rapper. But then I'm gonna say Biggie Smalls, because those are two of my favorite rappers, even though they're like majorly contrast. But yeah, those are probably two of my favorites. And after that, it'd probably be DMX. And then
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Can you repeat that?
Ian, how about you let me read the chats,
okay,
huh?
okay. So I like Post
Yeah, that's a good
Malone.
idea.
Yeah, there's a reason I said it earlier.
Okay, so I like Post Malone, Biggie Smalls, 50 Cent, and DMX.
Post Malone, Biggie Smalls, 50 Cent, and DMX. Okay.
That's a solid cluster.
Yes,
Biggie,
sir. What?
How is he big and small?
Spencer,
Biggie Smalls.
Spencer, because don't question him, okay? Because if you question Biggie Smalls, one of my personal favorite rappers, I'm gonna have to question if those glasses are real or if you just wear them to seem hipster, and that's not gonna be a fun time for either of us. Okay?
When I was like 12, I wanted to get fake glasses because like I know what's trendy. I want to just get some glasses frames. And then my mom was like, actually, we should go to the doctor. And I got my eyes checked, and they're like, now you actually need glasses. So it's not a choice for me. So just so you know, that set me back to a memory of trying to be a little
I'm
hipster chit child. And it turns
I'm
out that I was
just
actually also blind.
I'm just gonna say no with the heart emoji and be one of those people. No heart.
What what does that mean, Bobby? What does what
Have
does
you not seen Have you not seen like those girls who unironically use the phrase like "oh spill the tea"? Like they use they talk weird like they like when they comment on Instagram they use the emoji of themselves like doing their nails and like just this like these pixie emojis and like little stars. And one of their favorite things to do is if you're like, yo, your opinions are trash, you're a bad person, they just say no with a
Yeah.
heart emoji, and it's like I want to strangle you. I hate you
when
so much.
Bro, Bobby just
when Becca, 13 non-binary, comments on
Oh,
my post, sorry
bro,
G, not funny. Oh,
bro,
oh.
bro. Honestly, that's how I feel. It's just like,
All right. I was at the 7-Eleven the other day and I was mortified because here's what happened. I'm just there walking, doing some degenerate stuff as we all do in 7-Elevens.
yeah, that's the type of stuff that goes on at 7-Eleven,
Mhm.
dog.
And there
Smoking
was there
crack.
was a gaggle of I don't know what's young people, youth, teen women, whatever you want to call them.
Wa-
They were
waste,
disgusting.
waste youth.
Waste youth. Actually, that's a very good way to put it. It was like the full emo from like a shitty movie type of look. Like really
Ew.
poorly dyed hair, ponytails that didn't make sense. I was confused and I felt like an old man and I didn't like the whole experience.
Were they loud?
I never heard them speak. They would like
Good.
look at each other to communicate and move. They're like fucking phantoms. Like they would just like communicate based on eye contact and just glide through the aisles of the 7-Eleven. I was terrified.
Yeah, kind of trash. Kind of like just shitty people. I just
I mean, I don't know. They were just kind of there. I'm not gonna pass judgment.
I can sometimes look at people and just be like, yeah, you're a shitty person. You might call that very judgmental of me, but I guess that's how it has to be.
I don't know. Ian, as a person that people usually judge as shitty off the bat, how does that make you feel?
Honestly, like I don't really notice it. I like when, yeah, I don't notice it like when people judge me because I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. Like whenever I'm in like a social situation, like out in public, like I'm always just trying to like have a good time, like talk to some people, meet some new people. So I don't
Punch him
know.
in
I've
the
never really
face.
like, I've never what?
Punch him in the face.
Well, actually, that's what I was gonna say. Is I think unless somebody directly punches Ian in the face, he doesn't realize they might not like him. And even then, he's like, "Okay, I guess we're sparring. This is just fun practice. We're okay."
Okay, yeah. It's no, like I definitely get it because like Ethan says this all the time is that Ethan says you can choose your aesthetic and like to an extent, yes, but like any way that I dress, like I'm pretty much gonna look like a fuckboy. It's just like part of how I look. Like there's not really like some like play with that just because I feel like that's kind of like this is just kind of how I look, but like I'm not. And so I've just kind of accepted it that like when you see me, you're probably gonna like think that I'm a fuckboy, but then when you talk to me, you realize that I actually am one. So it's okay.
It's
No,
there's
when
lots of
you
twists and
realize that
turns.
like I no, that's not how I.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna list off my aesthetic, and you guys say how you think I would be as a person, just purely based on my aesthetic. If you didn't know me, so I'm a bigger dude, so I wear shit that's comfortable. So I wear when I'm out in public, you'll usually see me in shorts, like a t-shirt with some wrapper on it, maybe or something like that, or a hoodie. Mostly a hoodie. That'll probably go with the aesthetic better. A hoodie, a backwards Seahawks hat, and slides, and sometimes long socks with those slides. What type of person would you think that I would be based off of that aesthetic?
Any football kid from the area we live in.
I was just gonna say an offensive lineman.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh.
sir.
And also, Milky in chat wants you to know that he likes your cut, Bobby. He's a fan. And
Thanks.
Fez is getting
Thanks,
mad
dog.
because Milky's hitting on you. Did you just see
How's
the
he-
chat?
Yeah.
So in all
Dog.
caps we have from Fez, holy fuck, stop hitting in my man before I piss in your grandma's mouth. Jesus Christ, I didn't read that far.
Oh shit! Dang.
God damn, Fez, God
I
damn.
thought you said hating on me, and I was like, how's he hating on me because he complimented
No,
my haircut?
hitting on you.
Okay, yeah.
No, Milky's calling him a bitch ass. Hell yeah.
Oh,
Fight in
shit.
chat. One of you will earn Bobby's love by the end of this.
It's beef. Hey dog.
That's-
It's based on ages. I'm 18, so I can't go messing with no young bucks. Just putting that out there.
I appreciate that that's your cutoff, Bobby. If you were 17, they're game, you know? But 18, no more.
Are we following
Well,
Canadian
if
consent
I-
laws?
if-
Like what are we going off of here? We going off
Dog.
morals? Because that's too
No,
ambiguous.
Dog,
Yeah.
I'm saying because I'm 18. If I was 17, not a big deal. I mean, it's still technically legal, but I'm 18. So, nah. Jail doesn't sound fun.
Bobby, can your new nickname just be technically legal?
Yeah, sure. I still feel like the people at the liquor store are judging my ID hard. They're like, it's probably fake.
You know what's
This kid's
sick?
got
Because I've never actually had facial hair in my life because being an infant boy, it's never actually worked. But like buying booze and just doing shit like that's anything with age, if I looked like this, like if I had a mustache when I was like 16, I could have gotten away with anything. Nobody checks shit now. It is wild.
Really? Really?
Mhm.
I get
I realized the other day I was talking to one of the guys who goes to my MMA gym, and he's 23, and he said that he gets ID'd everywhere that he goes, and it doesn't make sense because he has like a whole sleeve, just like a ton of tattoos. So it doesn't make any sense that he gets ID'd everywhere he goes. And I was thinking about it, and every time I go to buy alcohol, I get ID'd. But when I go, but I cannot even remember the last time I got ID'd when I went to buy weed.
Actually, that's fair because that was sort of the. I think it's because there's a lot more monitoring of alcohol places, and it's more standard. Like with weed places, it's kind of like a don't ask, don't tell. I think, even like at legal dispensaries. Well, especially legal
what
dispensaries are the only places that they're actually checking age. To be fair,
what is like I've never been inside of a weed store. What is the inside of a weed store actually like?
nice. Like there are some.
Actually,
They're
yeah,
classy.
no, like they're nice, and most of them follow like the same layout of like there are glass cases along the wall with pipes and bongs and various other things on display. There's a fridge in the corner with cannabis drinks. There's a like a nice counter with like the company symbol behind the counter, and then kind of placed along. Oh no.
It's okay. I'm denying the message. Don't worry about
Okay,
it.
good.
Dog,
uh,
hey, real quick. How glad should I be that I can't see the chat?
Oh no, it's okay. It's just some choice words are being thrown around.
yeah.
Milky Cruz
um
accused Fez of playing Fortnite. It's really gone downhill.
Dog, we gotta
and
bring him
then
back.
kind of like as aisles, they're not like typical aisles. They're shorter, and they're just like glass display cases that have various like strains on display. And then there's usually like a console at each glass case that you can like look through to see what different strains they have.
When you said console, I thought you meant like gaming console, and I'm like,
Yeah, you can
dog.
just game. It's sick as hell. Well, no, like in neighborhoods where there'll be a house that's like bought and that's an old shitty house, so they tear it down and they have like a new modern weird wooden boxes for no reason type of shit look.
Kind of.
Yeah, like the new like modern, because all weed dispensaries since weed are legal, they've all been built recently. So they all have
Mhm.
like very modern decor, all very minimalist. Like I imagine the stereotype is that they're dingy little like shitty alleyways that just happen to have a door in front of them. But like
And you
they are
see some of
nice
them are.
establishments. So, well, it depends
Some of
on how
them,
old they are.
yeah, it's like there's a couple that I've been to where I'm like, this place was selling weed before it was legal.
Yeah, like the places that if you go to a place that was selling weed since it was quote medicinal unquote, they're a little iffy, but like any place that
Yeah.
was established after weed was fully legalized recreationally is going to be a good place.
hmm And every like all the ones, well, most of the ones that I've been to, like the people are all like super friendly, and like you can like basically I just like I'll have just like casual conversations with them. And when I like first started going, I would say like don't really know like what I'm doing, and they'd be like, oh, okay, this is kind of like what we recommend, because they're all seasoned stoners. So
Yeah, it's it's part of the application.
yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking
I guess
of,
I shouldn't. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that I didn't get a job there when I applied.
did you apply at a weed store?
Yeah.
They probably saw you walk in and they're like, this guy's probably a fucking narc. Hell no.
Not in person. Not in person. Online. I applied online, but
Was what was the application process like?
it was it was the stereotypical like, oh, we don't take it seriously. It was like, what's your favorite like character from TV shows? And I'm like, dog, what? I don't.
That's
And it's like,
perfect. That
and
fits
it's
so
like,
much.
it was like, what's your favorite quote? And there was like a big paragraph at the top, and it was basically just like, we don't have typical interviews. We just want to sit down and have a coffee with you, get to know you better. And I'm just like, they can just tell. All right, you walk in and they're just like, that guy's perfect for a weed store.
Well, part of it genuinely is like there is a vibe to stoners typically. And legitimately, a lot of people are going to go in there and stoners just hang out and chat. Like being fake deep about shit for several hours is the pastime of every and any stoner. No offense, Ian, you wanna be.
Wannabe.
But not that
I
I
was actually I
am.
was actually just gonna ask if I have the stoner vibes, but I guess I'm
Listen,
not there yet.
we've discussed it with Amy. She set the criteria. You're not quite there yet, Chief.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny. But yeah, like if you go to a weed store, like or any stoner, like the point you just hang out, you talk about shows you like. Like the fact that they had that on the interview thing wasn't like hippie shit. It's genuinely expect that in your work so regularly.
Dang.
Oh, and
Yo,
there's a truce for the war in chat. Let's take a moment to
Oh,
appreciate
Nice.
that.
let's
There's
go.
a
Nice. Good
truce.
job, boys. Good job.
Good stuff.
I
Good stuff.
appreciate
And he's gone back
So
to
Bobby.
insulting Ian. Delightful. Anyway.
um so Bobby, what is your favorite character from the show?
That's
Well,
such a
I don't
shitty
really
question.
okay. I don't really watch TV other than like WWE. So I literally had to think of like a wrestler's like character traits, and I was like, oh, okay. So he was a wrestler named Kevin Owens, mostly because I met him and he was really nice, and he became my favorite wrestler after I met him. But like he's also kind of like a pudgier guy like me, but he's also kind of like what I want to be because he's like badass, but he still has like my body type, and I'm just like I love him. I want to have sex with him.
Nice.
Nice.
I was just gonna say
Not
I was just gonna say, can the boys go on a field trip to a dispensary and just make like a video in there and post it on the YouTube channel? Just be
We
like,
would get in shit for recording in a dispensary for sure.
we just get mad stoned and they'll
probably.
just be like, whatever.
I mean, I'm down for a high cast one day. I think that'd be fun.
I'd
Actually, I would like to talk
I
about
mean,
an experience I
I've
had with
done that
marijuana.
before, so first, I just want to say who my favorite character from a show is. Thank you for asking. It's Pigeon from Mike Tyson Mystery because he's so funny.
We love Pigeon. Fuck. Mike Tyson Mysteries is such a
Anyways,
good show.
it's
So-
so good. Okay, I only ever watch it. I just want to say I only ever watch it when I'm stoned, which means I think that it's so funny when I watch it and I don't remember any of it, and then I just go and watch it again, and it's like watching
And
it for the first time.
It's
It's
still
a great
just as funny.
experience.
Yo,
'Cause-
I wanna watch Family Guy stoned.
Bro, you're gonna be hitting Brian. He's gonna get some truths to you. You're not even gonna believe it.
Bro, Brian's probably gonna say like some fake deep shit, and I'm just gonna be like, bro.
Whoa.
Okay, so two things. I need to address a thing in chat because Fez asked a very dumb question that I think is funny. He asked, "Can you get AIDS in the mouth?" Which it's a blood
No.
disease. It's a blood
Yeah,
disease.
yeah.
It's an immunity disease. It's not
Yeah,
like
I have-
herpes. You don't get like a cluster of fucking AIDS in your mouth. Like
Yeah, I've got blood. I've got blood in my mouth, just loads.
loads,
Just-
just sloshing
just-
around.
Just
But my
spitting
other thing-
blood.
Was Ian, you know the legal edibles that are in my freezer.
Yes.
So I took up on your offer that you said I snagged 2 as the holstering fee, because I remember you were saying that you tried them with Ethan Marler, our good friend, and he was saying that he didn't feel shit. And it was because I had 2, and I entirely understand why he said that. It was a very, very weird experience. So
Oh, what was it like?
genuinely, because I ate 2 reasonably close to one another, and after both had hit for sure, I was just sitting watching TV, and if I didn't think I was high, like if I didn't know I was high, I did not feel high. But like the second I started like talking, like I was hanging out at Amy's, and like the second I started talking to Amy, I was like, I am fucked. Like, I was incredibly high,
Mm.
but I didn't feel high in the slightest. It was very, very weird.
That's like I think that's like that's fair, especially because like sometimes like even like I won't feel it until I move. That's usually my cue is like I'll stand up and be like, oh,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah. So I guess that probably could have been it, but I mean, again, like yeah,
Bro,
I
that
think that like I think that everyone should in my opinion, everyone should, if they're gonna do edibles, they should smoke weed at least once, like smoke it
Hmm.
first, because that that hit, it's like immediate, and you know it's there. Like you feel that you're like you
Yeah.
take and you let it out, and you're like, and it's like right there, and so you know it. Whereas like with edibles, if you don't know what being high feels like, it can be like, oh, like I'm fine, because you don't even know what it feels like.
Yeah. It's like you just eat a thing and then like about 45 minutes later, shit's just a bit weird and you don't really know what's going
Mhm.
on.
what did, okay, what are edibles like? Because I had this vision in my head for years that whenever someone mentioned edibles, it was like a brownie, but it was like a big puff in the middle, and it was just literally like a raw wheat plant in it. Which I
Ew.
know it. I
No.
know it's not
That'd be
that.
so gross. Bro,
I
those
know
actually
it's
the
not
cookies
that.
were so good. They were fire.
Oh, they were so good.
They were
I should
so
have
good.
mentioned that. Shout out Sid, because she made those. They're so good.
They were
That
so
like
Like
that
good.
like caramelized part. Oof.
like
Oof.
like like do edibles like do they taste like weed, or do they just taste
It
like whatever
it
It
thing you're
depends.
depends.
eating?
So it depends. I have never had a gummy that didn't taste like weed, but I have had your mom's edible Spencer. I
Yeah.
can like just barely taste it sometimes,
Yeah,
and
my mom makes
Sydney's
some
I can
fire
never
shit.
taste it.
Well, to be fair, I think that was my
Yeah.
my mom's. I don't know how many times my mother has made weed brownies in the past few decades, but yeah, she went off. But those
Hmm.
cookies were so good.
A next party you have
Hmm.
at your house, we should all like bring by a few dollars just to chip in on the ingredients and have your mom make us just a big batch of
Weed brown.
edibles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she'd be very down. That's basically what happened last time.
Dog, that'd be
Uh,
hype. Because
Fez, when
I
you
because,
are oh,
because I've never had edibles, but I feel like it would be better than smoking, because like then because you don't get the smell on you, right? You
Weed
don't smell.
doesn't cling. Like a half hour after smoking weed, you don't smell like weed.
Oh well, I guess that's just a little bit of like nervousness that I've had, because I'm
Not.
always just like I'm just like compulsively smelling my hand after, and I'm just like downing mint gum, and I'm just like washing my hands and all that stuff. And I'm just like, we gotta go for a walk, air out, gotta go, gotta go.
Yeah, like that'll all like definitely make it go
I
away
was
faster, but like you'll probably be fine.
I see.
I was with when Spencer, when me and Noah walked to your house for Jane's party so your mom could drive us, I distinctly remember like getting Noah to smell me and smelling Noah, and we're like, no, like we're good. We don't smell like weed. And then we walk into your house and we get in the car, and you guys are just roasting us because we both just reek of weed.
I don't know. Maybe I'm too far gone because I remember being like, "You guys smelt a bit like weed." I think it was we knew that you guys were pretty high, so it would definitely fuck you guys up to tell you, "Oh, you guys fucking reek of weed." What's like
Yeah.
we all kind of were just collectively fucking with you, and it was very funny.
I kind of thought like the first time I ingested, I don't want to like talk too loudly about the fact that I've done it because my parents are upstairs and I don't want them to hear me. But like I feel like the first time I did it, for some reason I thought I was gonna be like super paranoid, and I thought I was just gonna be like, because I saw this video and it was of this kid, and he was just shaking. He was like, "Dog, you gotta take me to the hospital. Dog, you gotta take me to the hospital." And I'm like, that's probably gonna be me.
That was kind of what my
Like,
first experience was like.
oh,
Ian, you remember that?
I
Well,
was not.
you were
Yeah,
really
I was
drunk.
conscious. Yeah, I wasn't conscious, but
Cause yeah, what happened is like I definitely have told this story before, but it was that night where my mom, because we tried to make our own edibles, they didn't work. We decided to get drunk so that way we could eat them. And this was also on my orientation day for university. It was the day before orientation day for university because it was like, I want to try weed before going to university because all the cool university kids will have definitely tried weed. So yeah, we tried. I ate as much of those edibles as I could, and then my mom made brownies. And since I was drunk and the highest, I was like, these are the tastiest things I've eaten my entire life. So I was just downing the brownies.
Oh no!
And then I remember I started rolling, and I couldn't stop. And I remember apparently I was laughing uncontrollably. And then at one point, I remember I fell off the couch and I was rolling on the ground. And then our friend Eric Butler looked down at me and said, like, "Are you okay?" And my memory is that I stopped rolling, looked him in the eyes, and said, "No," and then kept rolling. And I asked him on the next day, and I was like, "Bro, like, I said I wasn't good. Like, do you remember that?" And he's like, "You didn't stop. You just kept rolling." And I was like, "Oh, shit. Okay."
My first experience was kind of odd because like I was there and I thought like the instant it touched my lips, I would cough up a lung. I was like, I'm gonna sound like a friggin' cig smoker. I thought I was just gonna be like, but no, like I took it and it was just like, hmm. And then I remember I started laughing, but I made sure I had Taco Bell on deck. I was like, gotta
You're
have
like,
it.
if I'm gonna be a stoner now, I gotta get ready for the life. Taco Bell's ready. Let's light up,
But no,
boys.
but no, then like, but a bit later, the boys were like, "Let's go to Tim Hortons." So we started walking to Tim's, but the boys were like, I know a shortcut," and it was like this back like almost like woods trail. It was like a walking trail, but it was like surrounded by trees, and this is at night. And so I was there, and I was like, "Yo, hold my hand, dog. This ain't right." I was like, because it was like pitch black, and so we got there, and we got to Tim's, and it was closed, and we were all just like. So we had to walk back, but this time I'm like, I'm gonna take the long way, and I stayed out on like the sidewalk because I'm like in there too dark, not dealing with it. But all the boys were like, "Oh, screw you, we're going in there." So I was walking, and my friends were in the bushes, and they started yelling at me. They're going, "Bobby, I see you," and I was about to shit my pants, but I kept composure, and I looked in at the bushes, and I was like, "I need y'all to stop." Because that's kind of creeping me out, and I'm not trying to yell because these people right here, because we were right next to a bunch of condos, and I was like, because these people right here are sleeping, and I don't need to be waking them up. But on the inside, I was like, "Yo, dog, you gotta stop! I'm about to cry, bro." And so eventually they stopped, and I kept on walking. But one thing I remember is I just kept looking over my shoulder the whole time because all I could think about was skinwalkers, and I was like, "Dog, dog,
Skipwalkers?
skinwalkers."
Oh.
I was like, "Dog, I'm about to get eaten, bro. I'm about to get eaten, dog."
Also, Milky in chat has hit us with a truth or dare. Since I don't want to be active, so I'm gonna go truth. What are y'all thinking?
True.
I'm
Yeah,
also gonna go. I'm also yeah.
I also don't
And
want to be
Fez
active.
asked about the poster that's from his perspective to my left, but it's actually to my right.
Yeah,
But
dumbass.
uh, that is the album cover for J. Cole's latest album, KOD, which is it's actually he's said that it can be interpreted a different day. It can be Kids on Drugs, King of Drugs. So it can be interpreted like those couple different ways. And it's just like honestly, every time I go back to the album, it depreciates in value, and I think that's just the nature of J. Cole because he has a lot of fake deep lyrics, in my opinion. But I do really like the album art. If I'll shift the camera, I'll shift so you guys can
Oh.
see.
For the audio listeners, my guess for what KOD was gonna be like was it stood for a Kids on Dat Coat, because he's got a fun robe on and there's just some kidlings hanging out underneath it.
Yeah, it's
I've never seen the album cover, but I heard you say KOD, and I immediately went to Kiss of Death.
nice.
That's just that depth from J. Cole that we weren't really expecting to see, but we knew would be there.
I don't listen to J. Cole, but I have this image of him in my head as this dude. He like plays all humble. He's like, "Hey, I'm just a regular dude," but then he's like spits these fake lyrics like where he's all deep, and he probably like he probably sees himself as like, "Oh yeah, I'm a genius," but he plays it as like, "Oh, I'm so humble and all that." Like I don't know. That's probably not true, but I don't listen to any of his music, so that's just how I see it.
Bruh,
The
that's
only
just a
the
fucking
two,
university lecture room.
the two tracks off the album that have actually held up for me are ATM, where he's talking about like it's just like the like typical rapper lifestyle of like blowing all your money and like riding trends and stuff, and then the last track I think it is, which is 1985, where he's basically like giving younger rappers like advice on like their come up and what they should do. But I don't know, J. Cole for me he hasn't outgrown the kid that Jay-Z signed, because Jay-Z signed him to his label. And so he's kind of just like, he's like the kid that Jay-Z signed, and he's kind of just like for but for like rap fans, he's very successful mainstream, but he
I
runs off that like
I hate to interrupt, but we have a very important, very on-topic question from Milky. He said, Ian, Spencer, and Bobby, have you ever farted so loud you got punched or got punched for farting? Are
No,
you
but
good? What the fuck?
but I've farted so loud I just got mugged. Because farting in the locker,
Damn. Somebody's like,
farting in,
just walking down the road, rip one, and somebody's like, this man don't deserve his money. I've changed
No.
my mind.
not mugged, jumped. Because farting in the locker room. Because farting in the locker room, dudes are just like, I don't play that, and then they just start assaulting you, and it's Jesus.
So you just got the shit kicked out of you for farting once?
well, not really the shit kicked out of me, but I just got like a lot of titty twisters, and for some reason I have really sensitive titties, and so I'm just
Nice.
Like, ugh!
You're like, guys, no, I'll fart again.
I got those estrogen titties because they're really sensitive. Like you like
I just want a clean audio clip. Whenever I get a text, I just want a little ping on my phone. There's just Bobby's voice. I got them estrogen titties.
like you can probably like catch shit out of me anywhere on my body, but if you even just slightly like, I'm just like hit a little like one of these on my titties, I'm just like dog. Get out of here with that shit. I'm breastfeeding right now.
I had to move my mic away because I was laughing too hard at that. That's really fucking funny.
I don't know if anybody else's family did this or if it was just mine, but like growing up and for like the majority of my life, probably till I was like 15, 16, if you farted, you had to say, excuse me, safety, sorry, before somebody around you said shots. And if they said shots before you said, excuse me, safety, sorry, then they got to punch you 3 times.
Dog, what?
I think I like... That was a thing I remember, like, from a very little... like, when I was a kid, like, excuse me, safety, sorry, sent me to a memory I didn't realize I had. But, like, I don't ever remember ripping ass and being punched. And also, Milky called me the Pink Power Ranger from how hard I was laughing.
Okay, so, basically, y'all are saying, excuse me, safety, sorry, was, like, a thing that happened when you were young. I got introduced to a variant of that in my senior year of high school.
Nice.
For the first time.
That's the also 2 places for it: 3rd grade and 12th grade. That's where it's at.
It was also in the locker room where, like, if you farted, you had to say safety before someone else said doorknob, and if they said doorknob before you said safety, they got to kick the shit out of you until you like found a doorknob and touched it. So yeah, that was also partly why I got. That was also partly why I got jumped in the locker room. I misremembered it. Now that I think about it, dudes weren't just like, none of that. People, like, I farted and people were like, doorknob, and I was like, fuck. And then it was just like a mad dash around the locker room where they were just running after me, like hitting me, and I was like, stop! And I just had to like find a doorknob. But the thing is, in the school, there's no doorknobs. There's only door handles.
That's true.
Like,
there's like no knobs at our high school.
So I'd be grabbing one, and they'd be like, "It's not a doorknob," and I'm like, "No!" Like, I'm like, what do y'all want me to do? You're not gonna beat me up for the next hour. And they're like, we might.
Depends how long it takes you to find a doorknob, bucko. Keep going. That's
And so
hilarious.
usually,
I do appreciate that this story beforehand was just you said, yeah, I farted once, and people just started kicking the shit out of me. And Ian and I were both like, damn, that's fair though. Like, I didn't question that for a second. I was so okay with that. I was like, yeah, sick.
now that I think about it, that's just so funny. Like, a dude just farts, and I'm just imagining like a whole mob just like, nah, and they just jump on him. Just start
Yeah,
throwing
it's
at him.
like, just this is unacceptable.
None of that. I ain't coming to be disrespected now.
That's wild. Oh, Bobby's going. Bobby's muted his mic because he's. Oh, damn. He's. Jesus Christ. I'm going pink again. They're bullying me in chat for how red I am, but you know, it's just how she goes when you're laughing with the boys.
I'm good. I'm
Nice.
good now.
Oh, good dab, Ian. Good dab.
Thank you.
Boys. Oh, yeah. I forget, we were talking about something earlier, and I was going to talk about how a lung doctor I went to was a homie, but I feel like that time has passed. That was wild. I had to miss my shift because of that. I was so sad. I went to get my lungs tested, and
Oh yeah, you told me about
yeah,
that.
I was just chilling, and I was like, okay, this is gonna take like a half hour, and then like I had like 4.5 hours of talking to doctors and getting my chest X-rayed and my fucking blood taken. But we all been there. All right.
Okay,
What were the
well,
results?
I got a lot of blood in me.
height.
Damn.
I know, it's pretty sick. Legit, I went to like the lung doctor and all that to like I don't know if they're supposed to give me a progress report on how asthmatic I am, but the doctor was like, "Yeah, we gave you an inhaler and your lungs improved by 15%. So you got asthma." And I was like, I know." He's like, "Anyway, here's some better inhalers. Go lose some blood and fuck off."
So, there was something that we were talking about before the stream that I would like to get Ian's opinion on. That cough still hitting me. So we were discussing this, and this is something that Ian is opposed to, but I never fully understood why. Because he just called it disgusting, but I didn't want to go into it because I felt like him saying it was disgusting.
I
meant
don't
that he was
remember what it
actually
is.
Annoyed about it. So I would like to get Ian's opinion on the potential of a Conor McGregor Manny Pacquiao fight.
Like I said, I don't want to see that, and I don't think anyone who is a fan of combat sports wants to see that. Like it's just like it's a matchup between a boxer that is way past his prime and an MMA fighter,
Does
and
Manny
who cares
Pacquiao
about
even, does Manny Pacquiao
Hmm?
even still box?
Yeah, he's like
Oh.
yeah, I think he's like in his 40s. But yeah, he's way past his prime. He was past his prime when he fought Floyd Mayweather, and so it's just a matchup between an MMA fighter and a boxer that's past his prime. Who cares about the outcome? No one. The outcome's not competitively relevant. It's not competitively relevant to boxing. It's not competitively relevant to MMA. I just want, as someone who is a Conor McGregor fan, I don't.
But
I wouldn't. I'm not a fanboy. I am a Conor McGregor fan. I want to see Conor come back to the UFC and fight people like Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Tony Ferguson, Dan Hooker. I'd like to see a Habib rematch. I
Hooker.
Nice,
think
Bobby. Good comment.
I don't think Conor has a chance of beating Habib, even if it's Conor's best day and Habib's worst.
But
So I just want to see. I want to
Smish.
see Conor fight competitively relevant fights in MMA.
But there's one thing I don't understand. Like, isn't there like an aspect of wanting to see almost like a fantasy matchup, like something that never really had the possibility of going down? Like, like I don't know, like I said this before, but like in my opinion, it's cool because it's like two fighters who have never fought before, and even though it's two different sports, I still kind of think it would be cool. Like that's just my opinion though, but also maybe it's just because I'm like a wrestling fan and like those fantasy matchups are like such a big part of it. It's like, oh yeah, you want to see a guy from the '90s take on a dude from today? Well, this guy's old and needs money, so he's back in the ring.
He broke his fucking spine, but he's back, boys, and he's as chipper as ever. Alrighty. Well, on the note of old people getting their backs busted, unless we got one or two last topics, I think we should get her ended.
I actually do, and it comes off what Bobby was saying, because Bobby, I don't like pro wrestling. I think it's ridiculous, and I figured out what my main issue with it is that it's called wrestling. So when the words wrestling is said, they think pro wrestling, and they don't think of the actual combat sport. They think of people doing ridiculous things that would never work in an actual combat scenario, and so that's why I have an issue with it.
Hey, dog, I'm jumping off the top rope in real fights all the time. I don't know what you're on about.
Bobby just Batista Bob's children walking on the sidewalk.
Bro, you don't?
Bobby's just up on the power boxes, just waiting to pounce.
I see. So if it was called something else, you wouldn't really have an issue with it.
No.
Cool.
Nice. So I think what we've learned here today, and the overarching message, is judge a book by its cover. The cover's the front of it. It's the point that's trying to sell it. If it's not good, you're not going to like the book.
Yes, sir.
And that's all I got to say. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope y'all had a good time. We'll see y'all skaters later. This is up on YouTube on Friday, Spotify, all that stuff on Friday. If you're listening to this, we did this live on Wednesday. You can come join. You can chat. You can join Milky and Fez screaming at each other. Fez is talking about woo wheelchair women eat ass. I had to allow that in chat. I thought that was funny. We'll see y'all around. Have a good one. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. See you later, skaters. Bye for now.